Hello everybody and welcome back to another Not That Jack YouTube video. So Disney and Marvel's Eternals recently came out on Disney Plus and I watched it the day of. And this video is going to be about me just talking about it, reviewing it, and some of the theories that I have for later productions in the MCU. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I would like to start off by saying that I think Eternals was very, very overlooked. Yes, it is not Endgame or some of the more well-known Marvel movies, but it is still a good movie, and I think that it should get recognition for a lot of the things that they did differently and a lot of the chances that they took on the viewer's point of view. One risky thing that they did was that they killed off a major character in the comics early on in the story. They killed off Ajax, but it was to move the story forward. I usually wouldn't like this, but it made things more interesting to see how the other Eternals would react and how would they interact with each other without a leader that they have had for millennia. Another risky thing that they did was that they delved into serious things about humanity, such as if they had the opportunity to save Earth, would they? And if they could know all of the things that the Eternals knew, would they do anything about it? I think this is really smart because it touches on the whole reason the Avengers even exist. It's talking about why humanity is both good and bad. Why people in general can and want to help other people. Another thing that I liked was that the Eternals do have flaws. Thena knew Arisham's plan since the beginning, but didn't actually know, if that makes sense. And Sprite, because of the form that she has now, cannot have stronger relationships with other people like the rest of Eternals do. People consider her a child, consider her inferior than what she actually is because of the way that she looks. Another risky thing, well, not risky, but surprising thing that they did was that they had a LGBTQ character as one of the main characters, which is Phastos. We also see an LGBTQ kiss in this movie as well, which I really liked, and it addresses a lot of the things in the comics, and how a lot of the characters in the comics are this way. So, yeah. So, I don't really know much about Eros, but I do think that he is going to be one of those characters that at first seems like someone who would help the heroes, but will eventually be seen as a villain. Because we have to remember, he is Thanos'S brother, and one of the only last survivors of Titan. Most likely the only person with Titan descent in the whole galaxy. And I know what you're saying. Just because he's related to Thanos doesn't mean that he's automatically going to be a villain. Well, I think not. I think that he might be equally as bad. Because in the book Thanos, Mad Titan, we see that his whole family isn't really that good. His dad basically ignored him his whole life about overpopulation and didn't even acknowledge his existence except for the fact that he was a threat to Titans and that his brain had evolved thus far at a very young age. Not to mention that his mother called him a freak and called him death because in Titan, people associated purple with death, and because of that, abandoned him. Although the book does not mention Eros or even another person related to Thanos except for his mother and father, I still think that this will be mentioned and that this will play a major part in Eros' plan and why he is just now interacting with the Eternals. When I saw the sword and credit scene, the thing that immediately came to mind was the Necro Sword, or the sword that the first symbiote ever had, and I'm pretty sure is considered a symbiote itself. I'm not only thinking this because of the color of the sword, I'm also thinking this because of the way it looks and because of how it seemed to become ooze and to move around in different directions. So I think that this could be the Necro Sword, and I think it would make sense due to the new movie Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, that's enough Marvel for today, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye!